Here with golf coach Ryan Egan. Coach, season starts this Friday. You've got a dual meet against McAllister. First off, congratulations on being named the new men's and women's golf coach. Talk a little bit about how the preseason's been for you, especially now that you're the head coach. Are there any adjustments from being the assistant the last couple of years to now being the head guy?
Yeah, first of all, thanks. I'm very excited to be the head coach. Really looking forward to getting started on Friday. As far as some changes, adjustments, absolutely. I think there's been adjustments for me. I think there's been probably more adjustments for the kids. You know, we really are working towards changing the culture here within the golf program, working towards our competitive level, and probably expecting more out of the kids than what we've expected out of them in the past, just as far as you know, expectations in the weight room, expectations as far as their fitness level, things like that. So there's been some adjustment for both of us as far as that's concerned, but I think it's all good. And I think this preseason's been good because of that, and we've gotten a lot of work done.
Let's talk a little bit about the guys' team. You did lose some pretty talented players who really have kind of been the backbone of the team for the last couple of years. But you also returned some very talented players, and you know, got to single out Blake Westerberg. He had a great freshman year last year. Tim Wolford's back after being injured all of last year. He was a solid player as a freshman 2 years ago. So talk a little bit about the guys' team and what we can expect from them.
You know, I've said for the last few months I'm very cautiously optimistic about the men's program. Returning Blake is huge. Expectations are high for him. We're expecting lower numbers than what he shot last year. Returning Tim is huge. Tim's going to fill in that 1 and 2 spot. The expectation is that Blake and Tim will probably fight for that spot. And then we've got some freshmen that came in that are going to help us. David Eiton is a freshman that came in from Totino Grace that's been playing really well lately. We've also had some good numbers out of Connor Brandt out of Woodbury. Expectations are very high for him as well. And then I think we're going to have a pretty good battle for that 4, 5, 6 spot with a few other guys, including Nico Boehm, who's a sophomore. It was last year but didn't get into a match, and he's fighting hard to get a spot on the weekend. We have a couple seniors in Trevor Erickson and John Lamborghese that are also going to be competing hard for those spots. So we wanted to increase the competitive level in the men's program. I think we've done that. So I'm very excited, and I'm excited about the numbers we can shoot in the coming weeks.
And if you look on the women's side, we talk about losses on the guys' side. You did lose one individual in Jenna Mrozinski, but the problem being is you lost a very talented and really the leader of that team for the last 4 years in Jenna. Replacing her and adding some depth there on the women's side as well?
Yeah, replacing her is going to be tough. Quality person. In everything she did here at St. Mary's. So definitely tough to replace her. We did bring in 4 freshmen, and definitely there's some ability there. I think we're going to be better on the women's side for sure. We've definitely increased the competitive level. You know, we returned 4 sophomores this year. We're freshmen last year, so with 4 returners, and then with the 4 new girls, you know, I think we're going to end up with 2 or 3 for sure of those freshmen in our lineup right out of the gate here. So I think we've improved things there. And the nice thing is we're young. We're all freshmen and all sophomores at the women's level, which allows for a lot of room for growth and to add depth in the future.
You know, practice has been good for the last week, maybe a little bit more than a week, but now the important part is playing on Friday against McAllister, because now you get into that tournament atmosphere, and you know, every 5-foot putt counts. And talk a little bit about the importance of this duel, and then really the duel next week against Bethany Lutheran.
It's a great way for us to start. Especially when we're young like we are with some of the freshman men and some of the freshman women, to just compete against one other shirt on a day. But it does add that level of seriousness to it, and like you said, every 5-foot putt counts. And it gives us a really good gauge as to where the men and women are at going into the big weekend tournaments. The McMary Duel is something we've done for years. I don't even know how many years, but it's been a part of the program ever since I've been a part of it, and I hope we continue it. We've developed a very good relationship with Bethany Lutheran and also with Carleton, who's in our conference. But we're going to do some things in the fall and in the spring together before we really get started in the heart of our seasons, which I think are good fits for all programs involved, from competitive level to the philosophy of why we do those matches as well. So I think it's going to be good, and I'm excited for what's going to happen in these 2 duels leading into the weekends.
And Friday kicks off the season against McAllister at the Jewel in Lake City. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks.